Hello, I'm Kayla, and I'm a beauty guide with Limelight by Accutane. I wanted to take a minute and share my before picture. Um, Anyone who's followed me, or if you look back at any of my old videos or pictures, I am so happy with this before picture, which might sound kind of weird, but I have struggled, and I mean struggled, with cystic acne for years. I can't think of a time in the last 10 years when I haven't had pimples on my face. I've always kind of covered them. Well, I've always covered them and not always in the right way. And I tried skincare. Okay, let me just think off the top of my head all the things that I've tried. So I tried Proactive as a teenager. Then when I was in college, I tried Proactive again. And I tried pretty much every Neutrogena, every product you can get at the Walmart like beauty section. I've tried every single one of them. I guarantee it, because I know over 10 years you can try a lot of stuff. I've tried Clinique. I've tried switching to different makeup. So I switched to Bare Minerals makeup. Then after none of those things worked, I tried. I went to a dermatologist when I was in college, and I got put on an antibiotic that didn't work. I had an antibiotic that I took by mouth, and then I had one on my face. I changed birth controls, hoping that would help. That didn't work. Then this last year, I had kind of given up on it. I had makeup that could cover it, so I was like, whatever, I'll just cover my skin. That's fine. Well, then, in about right before I got married, so I joined Limelight in November, and then I got married in February, and I was engaged like the same week I joined Limelight, or a couple weeks after I joined Limelight, or before I joined Limelight, I got engaged. So I didn't want to look like a teenager with covered up acne in my wedding pictures. So I knew I needed to start taking it seriously. And because Limelight had this amazing skincare, I decided to give it a try. And I had really good luck with it. It really helped. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. And I figured that out after 3 months of using the product. And I mean, I wasn't getting those big white pimples, and I wasn't getting as many like of the cysts underneath, but they were all concentrated in one area and they were all red. What that means is it's hormonal, and there's a lot of debate that goes around about whether or not skincare can treat hormonal acne. In my experience, it did not. When you're trying like the best chemical-free skincare in the world, and I used it exactly how I was supposed to for 3 months, and my skin still wasn't perfect. I mean, yes, there was improvement, and maybe if I would have given it longer, it would have gone on its own. But I went to a different dermatologist, and I went through 3 months of different antibiotics, 2 months of steroids. None of that worked. They put me on steroids because of my redness, thinking that it would help the redness, and it didn't even touch it. They had me on so much medication that every time they went in, the dermatologists were just like, how is this not getting better? So finally, they convinced me to try Accutane, and I was very scared to try Accutane because I knew girls in high school that tried Accutane, and their face looked like a snake. It was always peeling, and it was gross, and I didn't want to go through that. And I also know it's not good for you. I mean, any drug is not, it's going to be hard on my system. I didn't want to go through that, but I decided, enough's enough. So I've been on Accutane for a month and about a week, and it is amazing what it's done for me. And I just keep smiling when I see myself without makeup on too, because it's like all this little pink, this was red. This was bright red. It was bumps. It looked like I had a beard of acne. It was disgusting, and I was embarrassed by it. And I couldn't leave the house without makeup on because I was like that embarrassed about it. And the other day I went to breakfast with my husband and didn't have any makeup on because he wouldn't let me. I didn't have time. So I just walked out the door in my clothes, no makeup, and we were sitting at breakfast, and he said, your face is glowing. And I was like, oh God, like greasy glowing? No, like glowing. My skin is glowing. That's not because of the Accutane. That's because of the Limelight. I know so many people, now that I've gotten onto Accutane, I joined tons of groups, and I've watched tons of videos about people on Accutane. Your skin gets nasty. Most of the time it gets worse before it gets better. My dermatologist told me it would be 3 months before I saw improvement, and I saw improvement in the first month. Your skin gets so dry and cracked that it looks disgusting. Since I kept my routine with Limelight, so I still use these products, my skin is amazing. I mean, I get a little bit of my lips get dry because I don't put these products on my lips. I use like chapstick and any other lip product I can find, but the lips are hard. They're so sensitive. They're so tender. So those peel. I get a little bit of dryness around the corner. Everything else, I mean, I don't get oily anymore. It's completely rebalanced. And it's like the perfect 1-2 punch for me. So I wish, like, I mean, think of how much money I could make if I could tell everyone that Limelight by itself cured my acne, but it didn't. It needed some help. So the Accutane and the Limelight skincare was the 1-2 punch for me. Now, please don't, if you're a Limelight Beauty Guide or if you sell some skincare, please don't comment below, oh, you should have tried this, or be negative about the fact that I went to Accutane. Everyone's different. Everyone's skin is different. I have seen girls in Limelight who had cystic acne like mine, and it was completely gone in 3 months of Limelight. I've seen that happen. For me, I tried that first, and it didn't work, and it wasn't enough for me, and I had to go on a prescription. It was the best thing for me, and I'm so happy I did, because it's like the first time in my life that I look like I feel on the inside, you know? I can be confident, and yeah, I'm still gonna wear makeup to cover up this like redness, but it's a little bit compared to the caked on makeup I had to do before. So I'm just excited and I had to share it with you. And if you're someone who's struggling and you've tried other things, first thing I recommend is go to a dermatologist. They're the professionals. I will tell you, most dermatologists, especially mine, he has his own skincare that he'll try and sell you on. I was like, I already use the best skincare in the world. I told him about Limelight, and I told him how there's no chemicals, and he was like, oh, great, keep using it. I mean, he's like, it can't hurt. There's nothing bad in it. He's like, I recommend using that if that's what you're already doing, and it's not causing breakouts, so I would keep using it. So I would try Limelight first. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I'd try that for 3 months. If you think that after 3 months it's not getting better, maybe talk to your doctor about stepping it up and trying some prescriptions that might help. Because if I could go back and have done this a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 or 5 years ago, I would have. I was so scared to try it. I was so scared of what my skin would do. But you know what? Now that I say that, actually, Limelight wasn't around back then, so I wouldn't have had these amazing products to help take care of my skin as this Accutane's trying to dry it all up. So before I close, real quick about what Accutane is. It is a very potent form of vitamin A. It completely dries up your oil production. So anywhere in your body that produces oil is going to be dry. So your lips, I mean, my forehead used to be, it's shiny now because I'm sweating. I sweat whenever I do videos because I get so nervous. So that's gross. No. So my forehead used to be completely, like if I touched it, it would just be completely oily on my skin. My hair was always greasy and oily, even if I just washed it. So it completely stops the production, or at least slows it down to very minimal production of oil. And then after your acne is gone, you stop it and your body will go back to making a normal production of oil. That the overproduction of oil is what caused my acne. So that's why that works for me. The other thing is you cannot take Accutane if you're not on 2 forms of birth control, if you're a female and you're in an age group where you could be having a baby, because it will destroy a baby. It will give terrible birth defects if the baby even makes it. It's awful. So you have to be on 2 forms of birth control while you're taking it. Every month you have to go in for a birth control test at the dermatology clinic, and you have to get labs drawn because it's very hard on your kidneys and liver. So you have to get that done every single month. Then you have to go online and take a test about the product and safety when it comes to birth control. After all those things are done, you have a 7-day period when you have to go to the pharmacy and pick it up with a unique ID code that only you can use. The packaging itself is insanely hard to open. I had my husband trying to help me, and he's like, this is so hard to open. They make it very hard. So if that's any indication of how serious it is to be taking this drug, it's very serious. And if you're not ready for that, don't take it. I mean, try the antibiotics first. Try whatever they're going to try on you first. It's definitely something you have to think about. That's why it took me a few months. I was scared. But they monitor your labs every month, so if there's any kind of decrease in kidney or liver function, they're probably going to stop it, or at least decrease your dose. Typically, someone is on Accutane for 5 to 6 months, and then at that point, you can stop, and if your acne is done, you can be done with it forever. If it's not all the way cured, they take a break, and then you start it again. That's just to give your liver and kidneys a break from the drug. So this is not necessarily a go get on Accutane video as much as it is my story and how happy I am with the products that I'm using on my skin and what Accutane has done for me. And it's not actually called Accutane anymore. You call it that, but that's like the Accutane name is not on the market anymore. It's actually like isoretinin or something like that. But there's a lot of different brands. Last thing is expense. The drug itself, with my insurance, I get it for like $10 a month. So that's not bad at all. The only thing is, the way my insurance works, I have to pay out of pocket for the labs every month. So those are expensive to get the labs done and get a pregnancy test every single month. So that did add up. And obviously copay for if you have insurance and you're going to a dermatologist, it just kind of depends on what you're going to have covered. So make sure you talk with your insurance company if you're going to decide to do anything like this. But as always, start simple and work your way up if it doesn't work. So start with the Limelight skincare, try it for 3 months. So get on my Shine On program so you don't have to pay shipping. Try it for 3 months. And then if it doesn't work for you, or if it's working but it's not enough, then talk to your dermatologist, tell him what you've been doing, and tell him kind of talk about what your options are. So no comments on this about diet and everything else, because I tried everything. I went dairy free for 3 months and nothing happened. So none of those. And everyone's different with skincare. So just because it worked for me doesn't mean it will work for you. I'm just telling you, as someone who struggled and tried so many other things, I am happy with these results and I'm happy with where I am right now. So thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to 5 months from now when I can look at you and have no pink in my skin. So this is great. And this is no makeup. Like this was the coverage I was getting before I switched to Limelight. Like I was okay with this, and this is me without makeup on. So yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.